Hey, yoga friends. Thanks so much for joining me today. I've come to the mat to guide us through a sequence where our main focus will be on crow pose. It's a fun and challenging arm balance. And if you happen to have two blocks handy, bring them close by to the mat so we can use them during our sequence. Let's begin today lying on our backs in constructive rest pose. As you make your way back there, bring a bend into the knees, feet about as wide as the mat, and let those knees tent in and support each other. Allow the eyes to shut, and we'll begin just a few clearing breaths, sipping the air in and out through our nose. Use these breaths as a way to just see what is going on inside today, what we're showing up to the mat with. Stay in stillness together for 3 more deep breaths. Blinking your eyes open. And let's bring our feet a little bit closer together, about hip distance, with the knees standing on top of the feet. Take your right thigh, bring it nice and close to you with the hands clasped around the knee, and we'll come into wind removing pose. So inhale, straighten the arms, and on your exhale, pull that thigh rather close to you. So find this pumping action as we warm into our hip crease a few more times. Now, the next time the thigh comes close to you, keep it there. Take your right hand, slide it down your shin towards your ankle or outer foot, and we're going to lift the foot into the sky for a half happy baby. I'm going to let my left knee just fall out to the other way as a little bit of a counterbalance. Letting go of what you're holding on to, bring that right foot back to the ground, and we'll head over to the other side. Left thigh comes in, clasp the hands around. Inhale, the thigh goes away from you. Exhale, pull it nice and close. Pulling the left thigh towards you. The left hand slides down, reaching for ankle or outer foot, and lifting again into half happy baby. 3 deep breaths when you arrive. Let's let go of our foot, bring it back to the ground. And if you have a block available, let's take it and we're going to place it on top of the right thigh, meeting with the right upper arm. Okay, so lift the right foot off the ground. Find a nice strong connection there. So pressing the two together. Let's also focus on the right wrist. So flex it like you're pressing the ceiling away. So this portion right here is looking a little bit like half of a crow pose on one side. And we could stay right here, just pressing the two together. And if you'd like to add on a little more challenge, lift the left foot off the ground, hover it as well by the right knee. And then we can extend the heel all the way ahead and pull it back to meet its partner. Do that about 5 times in total. And it's up to you. Yet again, that foot could be steady on the ground or adding in a little bit more core work. When you've done about 5 of those, we can remove the block, prepare to switch sides. Bring the block onto the top of the left thigh, bring the foot off the ground until that block meets the upper arm. Find a strong connection and then press the ceiling away again. So a big flex into the wrist. Decide if you want to stay stable, nice deep breaths all the way to the belly, or float the right foot off, bring it to meet its partner. And we can extend the heel away, pull it back. 5 of those. Bringing both feet back to the ground. And if you have a second block, we'll use both at the same time, switching it up a little bit. So let's pull both feet off the ground, both thighs in towards your chest. Start with one leg, bringing the block this time to the back of your thigh, and then taking your heel to squish it on top. Now you could do this with one leg or perhaps both at the same time. Keep that connection. I like to also kind of squeeze my legs together and then take both arms, reach them towards the ceiling, pressing that ceiling away. Now let's try to get the knees a little bit above the elbows. So finding that flexion there into the spine, pulling the low back off the ground. If you'd like to spice it up a little bit more, you could even lift the upper spine off the mat as well. So right now, this looks a little bit like crow pose on our back. Let's hold here, breathing 3 more rounds. Slowly, we can bring the upper back to the ground. Remove those blocks. Place them off to the side. Both thighs can come into our chest, wrap the arms around, get a little bit of momentum, rolling north and south on the spine. And we'll come up to meet in tabletop. In this tabletop, I'm also going to use these blocks here under the palms. So really make sure that they are on the mat. They're not slipping away from you. They're rather grippy, and your hands will be onto those blocks. Take your right leg, reach it back behind you for a big breath in. And as you breathe out, pull the knee towards your nose, round your spine as much as you can. Inhale, lengthen back, look forwards. And exhale, pull and round. One more like that. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, pull and round. This time, lengthen out the right leg. Tuck the left toes under. We're going to press up and back to downward facing dog. Inhale, keep that leg lifted. Exhale, pull the knee towards your nose, round your spine. Inhale, rise through center. Exhale, come back forwards. Last time, inhale. As you pull the knee towards your nose, step the foot between your hands. I'm going to bring these blocks up to a higher height, possibly the tallest height. And let's straighten your front leg as well, rolling onto the heel into a hamstring stretch. Allow the upper back to round forwards. We'll be here for 5 breaths. Bending back into the front knee. Blocks can just slide away from the mat. Keep this big angle in your spine and lift your arms back behind you like airplane wings. So using a little bit of core control here, landing in runner's lunge. Nice proud chest, reaching forwards. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. We're holding here for about 3 more breaths. Palms can find the ground. Step that right foot back to downward facing dog. Give yourself a moment, just pedal through the feet. And we can come back to stillness in the heels. As you inhale, pull yourself forwards to plank, press the mat away, puff up into the upper spine. And with control, we'll lower all the way to our stomachs together. Inhale, lift the upper chest, small cobra. Exhale, roll down 2 more times like that. Pressing back, we'll meet in tabletop. Let's take these blocks again, place them under the palms, and we'll set up for the other side. Inhale, lengthen the left leg back. Exhale, pull it forwards, round your spine. Inhale, get as long as you can. Exhale, pull and round. One more, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, kick back with the left leg. Tuck the right toes under. Press your way up to a 3-legged downward facing dog. Inhale, keeping the leg lifted. Exhale, pull forwards, round the spine. Inhale, rise on up. Exhale, pull it forwards. Inhale to lift. This time, pull it to the nose, step between the hands. Lifting those blocks a little bit taller. And when you're ready, begin straightening the front leg, rocking onto the heel. Rebending the front knee. Blocks can move away and reach your arms back for runner's lunge. Palms can find the ground. Step the left foot back to join the right in downward facing dog. I'll give you another moment here if you want to pedal through the legs. Really plant the hands as well. Warming into this shape. Finding 2 steady legs. Inhale, ripple forwards to plank. Press the mat away. And then we'll lower together to our stomachs. Inhale, lift the chest, small cobra. Exhale, roll down. 2 more like that. Begin pressing your way back. This time we're meeting in downward facing dog. Tuck the toes under, straighten the legs out. Inhale, we'll lift the heels to the sky, look forwards, and exhale. Step 1 foot to the pinky side of your hand, and then the other foot to the pinky side of your hand. Bend the knees enough, you're going to lower your seat down, landing in Malasana, our yoga squats. And we'll do this a few times. If you have this block handy, you're more than welcome to just place it under your seat there. The heels can find the ground, palms come in front of the heart. And then let's also press the inner knees into the elbows and resist that with the elbows. Bring your fingertips to the ground, send your seat to the sky, and wiggle your feet about to hip distance. I'm also going to slide that block out of the way. Now let's bend our knees enough that our belly comes all the way down to our thighs, and we can thread our hands underneath our feet so the toes wiggle towards the wrist creases. Give your hands a little bit of a massage just by swaying the weight from side to side. Let your hands come out from under the feet. Inhale, we'll halfway lift, extend the spine. Exhale, float back down. And inhale, dig in the heels, rise to stand. Exhale to mountain pose. Inhale, scoop the arms to the sky. And exhale, fold forwards over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, touch the ground and make your way back to plank. Inhale in plank. Exhale, lower. Chaturanga or to the belly. Inhale, maybe it's an up dog or a small cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, we'll reach the right leg back behind you. And this time, exhale, pull it towards the right elbow. Inhale, kick it back to the sky. And exhale, crossing the body, tap the left elbow. Inhale, reach up and back. And exhale, pull it towards your nose, step between your hands. Option to use your blocks again, one on each side of your front foot. And we'll add in a little bit more movement this time. Inhale, lunge a little deeper, shine the heart forwards. And then exhale, straighten the front leg, come into your hamstring stretch. We'll do that 3 more times. Inhale, into your lunge. Exhale, hamstring stretch. 2 more, move with your breath. We'll all rebend our right knee, place the blocks out of the way. Keep that line nice and long in the spine, landing in runner's lunge, arms go back. Moving again with breath. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky, high lunge. Then exhale, launch back forwards to runners. 3 more just like that. When you're all done those, take a big breath in to stretch the arms to the sky. And as you breathe out, touch the ground. We'll step that right foot back to downward facing dog. Inhale, come forwards to plank. Exhale, lower chaturanga or to your stomach. Inhale, upward dog or small cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch the left leg back behind. And exhale, pull it towards your left elbow. Inhale, kick it up and back. Exhale, pull it towards your right elbow. Inhale, lift through center. Exhale, pull towards your nose. We're stepping between our hands. Begin to set yourself up, possibly using those blocks under the palms. Inhale, lunge a little deeper, shine the heart forwards. Exhale, straighten your front leg to a hamstring stretch. 3 more, moving with breath, rolling through the spine, warming into our legs. Bending again into that front knee. Blocks move away. Keep this long line in the spine as you reach your arms back to runners. Inhale, straighten the spine out, arms overhead. And exhale, lean forwards, arms pull back. Inhale, stretch the arms to the sky. Exhale, to runner's lunge. 1 more. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, launch back forwards. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky. And this time, as you exhale, palms plant down. Step that left foot back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, ride forwards to plank. Exhale, lower. You decide where you go. Inhale for your back bend of choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. On your inhale, we can lift our heels nice and tall, look way forwards. And exhale, step one foot wide of your hand, and the other foot to the pinky side of your other hand. We're going to re-bend those knees, bring the seat down towards Malasana. Same option as last time. You can use that block under the seat. Or if you don't need it, that's fine as well. Palms in front of the heart. Even though all the energy is moving down in this pose, see if you can lift your spine out of the hips a little bit more. Let your fingertips touch down, seat goes to the sky, and heel toe your feet hip distance. Bend your knees enough that you can thread those hands once again under your hands for Padahastasana. Releasing your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, float back down. And inhale, coming all the way up to stand. Exhale, mountain pose. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, you decide you could step, or maybe hop back to chaturanga, bent elbows. Inhale through your back bend of choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, reach the right leg back behind you. Exhale, pull it towards your right elbow. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, pull it towards your left elbow. Inhale, reach up and back. We're going to pull it back towards the left elbow, hover it there. Extend the leg so the side of the foot finds the ground. You can roll onto the inner side of your back foot. Let's float the left arm up. Fallen star. Bringing that top hand back down, reversing the steps, pulling the right knee into your chest. Lift it back up through center, and we'll pull it towards our nose to step through. Whew. When you're ready, press on up, high lunge. And we'll pull our arms back behind us, clasp onto opposite hands with your right thumb on top. You can draw the hands down the back body, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and take 3 deep breaths here. Unlace the hands, bring them to the ground, and we're going to step that right foot back, downward facing dog. All flows are always optional. If you want to keep going, inhale, come forwards to plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, upward facing dog, baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch the left leg to the sky. Exhale, pull it towards your left elbow. Inhale, reach it up and back. Exhale, pull it towards your right. Repeating that again, inhale, reach it up and back. Exhale, pull it towards the right elbow, pause. Straighten out the leg, pivot onto the sides of your feet, and the right arm reaches up for fallen star. That top hand can come down, pull your thigh back into your chest, take a big breath in, reaching it back up, and exhale, step it between the hands. Let's press all the way up, high lunge. Inhale, arms by the ears. And as you exhale, reach them back behind, clasping the hands, left thumb on top of right. Bring the palms to the ground. Step your foot back, downward facing dog, and another opportunity for a flow if you'd like it. Inhale, come forwards. Exhale, lower. Inhale for your back bend of choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now, one final time here, we're going to step forwards with one foot to the pinky side of your hand, and then to the other side. Lower that seat down, coming into Malasana, hands in front of the heart. Find a little lift as well. That heart space lifts up out of the hips. Good. Let's just bring our fingertips to the ground and let's come back to our shins. So just step them back and we're going to prep up for our peak pose. All right, we'll do this in a couple different rounds. Let's begin with a small little low to the ground crow. So this one can be more challenging, but at the same time, it's a little bit less scary since there's nowhere to really go. You're all onto the ground here. So to come into our small crow, start onto your shins, have a little bit of space ahead of you. We're going to bring our forearms to the ground and then pop up onto your toes. So we're in a big crouch already. Your knees might be kind of close to your upper arms, all the way towards your armpits, and that's where we're hoping to get them, as high up as we can. Now spread your fingertips really wide, grip into the mat, and very slowly just practice leaning forwards. Your nose is almost going to come to the ground. Now keep everything really strong, pulling in that connection between knees and upper arms. And you can practice lifting one toe at a time, or one foot at a time, and perhaps even lifting both at the same time. Now give yourself a couple moments, a few opportunities to try that one out. And whenever you need breaks, just sit on down, swing the arms, let the legs go as well. Think about arm balances. They take a lot of energy, but they are super fun. So give it a few chances. Now, if you want to head into another way to come into crow, we're going to use our block. So let's take our block about 3/4 or halfway down the mat, and we're going to bring it up onto the smallest height. It's just got the most surface area. Yet again, we're just making sure that it's nice and sturdy and sticky onto the mat. All right. Now, coming onto your feet, hands come maybe, let's say, a foot ahead of your block, and then take your feet onto this little perch. So the big toes can be together. Let the knees splay apart, and then palms find the ground, fingertips spread wide. Slowly, slowly, yet again, that same sort of alignment. The knees are coming as high up onto the upper arms as you can. Lean forwards, practice just bringing a little bit of weight into the palms and then lean back. Do that a few times. Now just to help the wrists out, use your finger pads and the knuckles as well, gripping into the mat. And let's think about this for a moment as well. When you build a house, you have to have a really strong foundation. So as you come forwards here, notice if you can stack your wrists and your elbows in line with each other. That's going to give you the most success here. Now, when you're done playing, just shifting the weight, using a little bit of core strength to keep those legs pulled in towards you. Let's practice lifting one leg at a time. So bringing the weight back into the palms. Let's lift the right toes. Try to bring the heel towards your glute. Bring it back down. Heading over to the other side. Heel towards your glute. Bring it back down. Let's come back, take the weight off the palms. And this next time that we come forward, maybe You practice one foot at a time again, or pulling both heels up at the same time. Now, another key component as you're practicing this, look straight down to the mat rather than back towards your toes. It'll just help preventing you from doing a little somersault. And know that if you do fall out and come back in, that's okay, it's all a part of the game. So give yourself another moment here, coming forwards, looking straight down, maybe lifting those heels off, pulling them towards you, towards your seat. You can come back onto your perch anytime you like. Now I want to give you one more opportunity here. If you've been practicing crow for a little bit of time and you want to add it into a transition, there is also a way that you can come from crow and do a jump back to chaturanga. So I will show you what that looks like, and feel free to add it into your practice if you would like to, or give it a go, or know that this is something you can try later as well. So for this one, we're going to come quite close to the top of the mat, so you have lots of room to spring back into. Set up the same way, but without the perch. Palms nice and wide, or fingertips nice and wide, high up onto the toes and knees high onto the upper arms. Begin to shift the weight forwards. Pull the heels towards your seat. Look straight down. And then when you're ready, you send those toes back behind you, landing with bent elbows. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. From here, let's all meet onto a seat. You could step or hop through, and we can slow things down for a moment. Take both hands together, clasp them around each other. Do little figure eights with your wrists. Releasing those hands, splash some imaginary water onto your computer screen. Now, things like crow pose or arm balances are things I love to practice in studio with clients, but unfortunately right now we're all at home. So I hope this has given you enough sort of things to work up to and to practice, and just put into your daily routine. All right, let's head on to our back body together. Come all the way down, take your time to get there. Bringing your hands under your seat. Now let's start with bent knees. Try to bring the lower arms as well under your torso slightly. We're going to press the forearms down enough that you can pop the chest up and send the top of your head to the ground. Now, very, very light pressure onto the top of the head here. You could keep both feet onto the ground, or if you'd like to, you could straighten your legs, have them float in the air. These are a couple different variations on fish pose. Whenever you're ready to come out, bring the feet back to the ground, press into the forearms to lift the head off, and return to your back body. Let's just widen the feet as wide as the mat. Let the knees dock from side to side a few times. The next time your knees fall to the right, let them rest there. Keep both shoulders on the ground as you spread up your upper body. Take a few deep breaths. Let's let our knees travel through center all the way over to the left. and allow them to settle in again. Shift your knees through center. Wiggle your heels all the way ahead. Toes begin to fall apart, and palms can be up by your side. Let the mind relax. Breath can just flow in and out at its natural pace again. I want to thank you for joining me today, practicing and playing on the mat. Please stay here as long as you're able to rest. And this is where I leave you. See you again soon.